What are like the differences you've noticed of Sufism in the East and in the West?
Well, as far as this question of differences between East and West is concerned, and the Sufism particularly in East and West, difference is only apparent. There is no difference as such. We are apparently different physically from our fingerprints to even our genes, but at the subgenetic level we are one and the same. So recognizing the differences, whether it is East or West or North or South or any other difference of language or creed, they are only apparent differences, and certainly there are differences. That's how the nature is, right? Your color is different from mine color. Your language is different from my language. Your culture is different from my culture, right? So at that level, it is certainly different. But that very thing which never changes, that very thing within us which is beyond time and space, right? And which is the very essence of our being, is unchanging, and there is no difference. And that is what is called nafsun wahida, that from single, that unity, the whole of the creation came into the being. So it appears that there is a difference, certainly, because Sufism in West, as such, is introduced late or lately. I mean, like probably a century ago, when the Sufis and the Chishtis from Indian subcontinent, they traveled to West, right? And they introduced Sufism into these lands. So certainly it is a newly born tradition in West, right? But the essence is very same. But you know, the difference probably you are asking is the difference of the culture, right? So it's culturally different, and it is very natural. It has to be culturally different. If Maulana Rumi was born in Columbus, Ohio, for example, where we are sitting, right, the calligraphy or probably the dances, the reeling dances would have been different. His attire would have been different. Probably he wouldn't be wearing that long Mevlevi turban or the hat. Probably he was having a sort of a hat your grandfather had, right? So culturally, certainly it is different. But the essence is the same. And since it is new in West, people are trying to adopt it, and they are working very hard on it, right? I can see that. I had the experience of being with you people last night, and I was just watching the sincerity and the pure intention of all the participants who were in that ceremony, and I felt that, wow, it's very great. It is very different from East. There it has become the part of the culture. So when you are born, I mean, sometimes it is in the air you breathe in. So you do not actually realize that how blessed you are. And there, people of the East, that's what I feel, have taken Tasawwuf and Sufism for granted. But here in West, people are taking it very seriously. Although they are very small in numbers, they are scattered all over. There are circles who meet, and who meet not only for the sake that this is a sort of a club or of a sort of a circle or sort of a social activity, right? They meet here with the pure intention, while in the East, where those who were born into the culture which has the fabric of the Sufism, they are not taking, sometimes they are not taking it seriously. Although they are attending the circles at different degrees of attachment to it, sometimes it can be because it is where they're born in, it was there, right? So they are doing it sometimes habitually, right? So certainly there is a difference, but I see more seriousness towards the spiritual growth and spiritual enrichment here in the West than in the East. And essence is same. It will evolve, right? When all these traditions of Sufism started in East, it did not happen that just only in first 50, 60 years the whole society was changed, the whole culture was changed. It was a gradual process, right? And gradually the whole system changed. That gradually those things which were very hard for the beginners when they started on the path, they went deep into their genes, going through this flesh and bones, back in their mentality, right? So this is the start. It is certainly evolving, it is experiencing many things, right? It has to differentiate so many things and to become more and more, I won't say purified, but to a certain level purified also, right? Because pure is the intention. If that is pure, the rest takes some time, because there are the biological laws, there are the natural laws. That's how the things work. Like, I mean, for example, no matter how good nutrition is there, how potent the two partners are, right? But it will take 9 months for a baby to be delivered to this world. So it will take some time. But the intention and what we call the work is also evolving itself. That tailored solution for the West is in the process, is still in the process. And why it is in the process? Because it is very difficult. Believe me, it was very easy probably for the agrarian society, but it has become very difficult to fight with the commanding self living here in this capitalist hub of the world, right? And I remember when Jesus said to the people of Israel that usury is bad, they went against him. All the Jews went against him because he was threatening the habit on which they were depending their lives. 5% increase in interest in every day, right? And now you are in the same situation, my dear, right? With all these institutionalized banks, right? You are living there. So it is very difficult. It is taking time. We back over there, we do not have any credit cards, right? We do not buy the things on installments, although we are living in the small houses, right? But we are not paying it. So those are not my problems, right? But here you have that problem on every step. So it will take time to develop that whole curriculum, and it will certainly needs more of the hard work. and more of the understanding. And the teachers, especially the role of those who are imparting this spiritual teaching, how wise they are to help the seekers or the students to find their way through all this, how to save yourself. Somebody said that, what is Sufism? And the sage replied that if you are walking through the bushes, right, and you have to save your clothes, and the way you walk, that is Sufism. Going through that jungle of thorns and saving your clothes, that is the art, right? So it is certainly difficult, right? So here are more bushes, right? Then, I mean, over there it is all sand. There are some bushes, but they are very. It's different, but it is the same.